I'm looking forward to listening to our police radio one day and hearing a deputy saying that they have a 5150, someone who's mentally ill, and they're en route to the psychiatric hospital. Because right now we hear that they're en route to the hospital, the emergency room, and we just don't have that room. So it's no longer an academic conversation. It's a genuine, realistic conversation where the money's going to come in and we're going to get close. So thank you for that. And thank you for being part of this, the voters who help support us.
Thank you.
Remember, being mentally ill is not against the law. Being homeless is not against the law. So we have people who are less fortunate than us and for no reason of their own are in a situation. And for us to ostracize them and put them in a situation, all it does is frustrates us and worsens their problem. So I'm looking forward to us reaching out and lifting some people up. Because if anybody believes that mentally ill people can improve, I'd love to spend some time with them. I'd love to talk to them. In our jail, 20% of all inmates are mentally ill. We have a very active mental health program, which includes socialization, includes working with them. So before they get out of jail, we already have appointments set up on the outside. And we want them to get out and improve their life. Gualala is a very important part of our county for the mental health program we call MOPS. I talked about it here. Please help me come up with a different acronym. Mobile Outreach Preventative Services. And we are actually we're talking to people who are frequent flyers of the mental health system before somebody calls 911. And we're just going to their house, saying, do you have your medication? Are you wearing plain clothes? Have you talked to your family? Is your house hot? Is your house cold? All these things that you and I may take for granted. But what we found, with one exception over 26 months, we have not had a single 911 call for these people who have been frequent flyers. And that is saving literally hundreds of thousands of dollars. We talk about school shootings, active shootings on a regular basis. We train for it. I met with a superintendent today who's arranging for the sheriff's office to meet with all county superintendents in 2 weeks to talk about having one plan for the whole school, or for the whole county. We have 11 school districts. I don't want to have 11 different plans and make sure a deputy pulls over the side of the road and says, what's the plan for this school district? It needs to be consistent. So we're going to have one plan, and it's up to the school district to coordinate the teachers and the activities. It's up to law enforcement to go in and stop the threat. When we started, Sergeant, I'm going to guess the same for you. Sergio, you're a little bit out of this, I guess. When you started, the paradigm is what it is right now. But when we started law enforcement, if there was a bad guy in the school with a gun, we would surround the school and get on the bullhorn and say, come out with your hands up, and he'd come out. Those were the rules. But then when Columbine happened, we realized we have to change the way we do business. So when we get dispatched to an active shooter right now, whether it's one deputy or 100 deputies, we're going to go into the school, we're going to neutralize a threat. You don't have to read into that, you can figure out what I just said there. We're going to neutralize the threat. Government's ready to come in, and I'm working with the district attorney to increase the number of sirens we have, public sirens, old sirens. The reason they were taken out, if you don't know, the reason we don't have any sirens in our county anymore is because citizens complained about the noise. Well, I wouldn't give them my home number if they want to complain about the noise, because I have something I want to say to them. We are going to be getting more sirens, air raid sirens, and it's going to be training with the fire department, with law enforcement, with the public to say, when you hear this, it might mean a tsunami, it might mean a fire, it might mean a monthly test. We don't know. On the coast, the biggest enemies we have of sirens are corrosion, bugs, and birds. And so we have to keep the sirens tested at least every 2 weeks, have to keep them oiled and greased. But yeah, Mary, to answer your question, we learned a very important lesson last year. We learned that not everybody has signed up for reverse 911, and one of the things that we're suggesting to the California PUC is make the reverse 911 an opt-out opportunity instead of an opt-in opportunity. I agree, but people are saying we're invading their rights by giving them the reverse 911 information. So it's not everybody agrees with this. So if you haven't registered on reverse 911, you can register your phone number, your cell phone, to up to 3 geographical locations in Mendocino County. You just go to MendocinoSheriff.com, you click on the emergency notification, and it takes literally 5 minutes to register your cell phone to up to 3 geographical locations: schools, hospitals, anything. And we want to notify them. If we have a reverse 911, if we have an emergency for that geographical location, you know, an 18-wheeler with propane turned over, or we have an escapee, or who knows what, a fire is raging through, we'll notify your cell phone if it's registered with the reverse 911. So please, take us up on it. It doesn't cost anything, and no, we don't tell the feds anything. There's no conspiracy here, I promise. Oh, and here, let me tell you good news. This has to do with the coast. For your regular attenders of this meeting, you've heard me for 3 years talk about the new substation in Mendocino. Yes. The board did the final approval last Tuesday. I talked to Sacramento today. I'm hoping to have the new substation completed by August of this year. So we will not be in Fort Bragg. We'll at least be 10 miles closer to you if nobody's down here. And if you don't know where it is, the Ford House, which is right across from Dick's Place there, the bar, they have a small 24 by 21 carriage house, which Governor Reagan recommended in 1972 it be destroyed. Thank goodness it wasn't. And the county is remodeling it, and it's going to be the sheriff's substation, and it's going to be on state park property. So I'll believe it when I see it, the same as you, but we've never been any closer. We've gone through the Coastal Commission, the Historical Review Board, we've gone through the Planning Commission, and it's all done.
My captain in the area is trying to get the department to authorize more officers, not only in the Fort Bragg area, but also more for down here, to help boost numbers. Because we understand the issues, and most of the time there's only one CHP officer on for the entire Mendocino coast at one time. So that's what we're trying to do.